Yo, what's up? This is Minju with Way of BJJ, and I'm here with.
Chris.
Almost like you fucking.
I thought you were going to intro me like last time.
Yeah, so when we started creating the concept for the Way of BJJ app, so I was helping Chris with some one-on-one jiu-jitsu stuff. I wouldn't call him my student because that's not really our relationship, but I'm just kind of like helping him troubleshoot some stuff on a one-on-one basis. So then I'm like, hey, we're creating this app. And Chris's background is that he had just started training jiu-jitsu at the time.
Yep.
So at the time we started working together, he's probably 3-4 months in or something like that. And then, so we wanted to see if the concept of Way of BJJ can actually help people learn and train jiu-jitsu better and accelerate their progress. So I'm actually just gonna ask him a few questions and we'll see how his experience has been with using the app for the last about a month now. All right? Chris, let's talk about your jiu-jitsu training. What were some of the issues and frustrations that you ran into when you first started as a brand new white belt?
Biggest thing for me outside of learning the principles and all the details you want to keep track of is like basics, like get your frames in, make sure you have inside position. Once those are established, the move set that's available is so vast, and the amount of like scattershot coverage of it, I didn't know what I didn't know at the time. Like I had no way of mapping out where I should be building my game from, what felt best, what didn't, and where to go from a position that I was comfortable with. And the app has helped tremendously in basically giving you a starting point that you can build from and start expanding your map and navigating. Like say you know side control really well, like where do you go from there if it's not working? Or what are your attack options? Where do you want to go back to? All that sort of stuff.
Nice, yeah. So because as you know, when you first started, it wasn't like a more complete version of the app as we have right now.
Yeah.
It was more of because again, we're like testing it out, rolling out new features and everything, right? So along the way, what has been like the feature that you've used that you find the most helpful, you find most helpful so far?
Being able to punch things in the lab function immediately after training has been super useful. So if I've gone to a class and say we've covered like arm bars from mount, I can go in, look at if I know any arm bars at all, and if I don't, I can start creating a sequence that covers, okay, here's arm bar from mount, what happens if I go transition out of that into like say a triangle, like is that an option? Or what are the steps even? So if I'm having trouble like remembering certain details, I can punch that in either in the sequence itself to practice pieces of it segmented, or I can incorporate it under just one node and then know that when I'm looking back at it, it's like, okay, these are the steps I need to know, here are my options. And it basically gives me a way to journal and track much more effectively and put reference videos in according to my own training or what I find to supplement what I've done in class.
Nice. So compared to when you didn't have the app, right? So you were training without the app, just going to class and everything for the first couple months, the few months,
Yep.
And then you were able to use the app for the last month or so. So what would be the biggest difference you have seen in the way that you are learning jiu-jitsu?
It's way easier to remember and keep track of what I already know. So whenever I come across something that I've like familiarized myself with in a class, I can go, okay, cool, this is single leg X here, 3 sweep options. We're covering a fourth today, or we're covering ankle locks from that position. I can go into my training notes in the app immediately afterwards and just add one piece rather than trying to remember all these different things that feel unconnected. It's always going back to like building an actual knowledge base and having a way of keeping track of that accurately. Yeah, basically everybody check this thing out. It's absolutely brilliant. It's helped me tremendously. Whether you're like first day white belt all the way up to black belt, I can imagine you're going to find uses for it. Whether you're teaching people using it as a tool or whether you're using it to teach yourself or keep track of your game, there's always something new that I'm discovering when I go back in, like I wasn't thinking about this right, or I could think about it in a more optimal way. And it helps refine all the detail pieces to make training that much more efficient and that much more fun.
There you have it. Straight from the what's the saying goes with the horse's mouth? Is that a saying?
Straight from the horse's mouth or something?
I don't know. Is that a saying? Well, anyways, yeah. There you go. Go check it out.
Sweet.